Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with Q&A Sunday. It is that time to answer those questions. Episode number 30. And we have some FIFA 15 online action. The first game or full match that I actually got to play. I did play one match before this, but the person decided to leave as soon as I scored. So this is the first actual match for me online. I wasn't expecting it to be hard, and it wasn't. Purely because, you know, you start off in the lower divisions and you come up against people sort of in the similar boat. But playing as Belgium, absolutely love Belgium. If you haven't played as them online, try them out, because they have pace, power, and everything else in between, and very, very difficult to play against. Playing against Arsenal, but anyway, you'll see me play. I missed a lot of chances. I should have scored way more, but I did kind of take my foot off the gas. But anyway, into the questions. Please be sure to submit some more over TheTrueBrits.com. I'm kind of running out now because I'm getting through them all. So if you've got questions, let me know. If I don't have enough for next week, then I just won't put one out. I'll put something else. So here we go. First one's from Leon. He says, "Hey TTB, the music in your intro is quite interesting, and I was wondering whether it was from a longer song or not." I've had quite a few people asking me about the song at the beginning of my intro. This was just something I got with the video itself. I found an intro. The only thing I really changed was the logo and the text. Should have scored that early on there. But apart from that, everything that came with it was with it. So I don't, unfortunately, know the music. I have no idea if it's taken from another song or anything. So unfortunately, guys, I'm sorry. I've said quite a few times, I don't know the song. So I can't tell you. Anyway, next one from Jimmy. It says, "Hi TTB, I love your vids, thank you. I have 3 questions. Number 1, what would you recommend for me, PES 2015 or FIFA 15? I will start with that one. I mean, it depends what you're looking for this year. Obviously, I've played the full game of FIFA 15, and I've played the demo of PES 2015. Now, if we're going to compare them, PS4 versus PS4, they both run smoothly. There's no problems with lag or anything like that on either versions. FIFA's never really had that problem. Look at that for a strike. Off the post there. But FIFA's never had that problem, really. PES did on the PS3, but luckily this year, PS4, it runs smoothly. But gameplay-wise, or we'll say licenses first. If you want licenses, if you want the official Premier League, then you're going to have to go for FIFA if you purely want that. But if you're not worried too much about the licenses, there's a nice cool finish straight away, then, you know, PES may be the game for you. Gameplay-wise, FIFA is probably, I don't know if FIFA's as fun. I think that's the main reason this year. PES is a fun game to play. It's quick, it's exciting, a lot of ways to score. Doesn't seem as much scripting, you know, as maybe FIFA has sometimes. I don't know. It's a real hard question this year. I'll have a hard time of choosing them 2 games because I think they both play differently and they both play quite well. FIFA has its problems, yes. The goalies are still iffy. I've seen a couple of bugs here and there. It still surprises me that EA don't check these games before they get released. But PES then again has a few bugs as well. Well, used to have bugs with the goalies. They've been rectified a little bit this year. They need to be tweaked a little bit more. But I think it's just a hard question. Which games for you? I think you have to sit down, you have to play the demos, and you have to try them out. Do you want fast action, fun gameplay like PES, or do you want more maybe of a simulation if you change the sliders? Default I don't think is very simulation. Then you go for FIFA. So it's a hard one. We don't know all the game mode details about PES yet, so that also could, you know, change your decision. So I would say wait a couple of weeks until all the details come out about PES 2015. And then maybe make a decision. It was a bit of a long answer, but there we have it. Number 2, where do you think United will come this season? If they start picking it up, if they pick a centre-back up, you know, in January time, they're not going to win the league. But I think probably 4th. I mean, I'm hoping 4th, no lower. Could be hard otherwise. But probably I'd say you're going to look at this season, 4th, 6th position. I know it's quite far down the table. Maybe it will get even better for them. We'll have to see, but that's what I would say. Number 3, could you do a Arsenal, Chelsea or United career mode, please? Well, I have a United one rolling on FIFA. If you haven't checked it out, what are you doing? Get checking that out. It's been great fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that Man City game I put out yesterday. That was immense. I'll tell you what, I wasn't expecting that. I went 1-0 down. I thought this is going to be tough. But if you haven't watched it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But you have to watch that game. Alright, good questions. Next up from Abe. He says, how come you're 26 and about to get your bachelor's degree? I'll answer that straight off the bat. Well, the main reason is I have an associate's degree, so it's not like I've spent, 9 years just getting one degree. The fact of the matter was that I stayed a year later in high school. So, I mean, I graduated when I was 18, but I was sort of turning 19 a month after I graduated. And then I went and got my associates. I wasn't taking, like, classes every semester. I was kind of taking 3 here, then I might have had a semester off. Was doing kind of coaching in between. So it took me quite a few years to get my associate's degree. Then I realised, well, you can't get sponsored or anything without a bachelor's. So, bash, straight back to college to do that again. So I've done my bachelor's in about 2.5 years pretty quickly. But it took me a while to do my associate's because I was doing all the other stuff. So that's why it's taken me so long. Next up, he says, what crowd do you think is going to look better? PES 2015s or FIFA 15s? Will the crowd look better in PES? Because in 14, all you see is a bunch of cartoon stuff moving and they all look the same. I thought 14 was okay. Considering it wasn't next gen, I didn't think the crowds looked that bad. It looked better than FIFA's on PS3 anyway. But this year, yeah, we've seen the crowds. They look much better. They're 3D. I don't know if they're as good as FIFA's. Probably on about the same level. But yeah, the crowds are all going to be 3D now. There's no exceptions, and it's not like you need a real high level of detail for crowds. You're not zooming in on them. It's not like a WWE game where you see them standing there with the banners doing all this crap. You just see them in the distance. So yeah, they should be good this year, and they look good from what I've seen. All right, next up from Andrea Silva says, after that 7-1 loss in the World Cup against Germany, do you think that the Brazilian football is declining? And what do you think about the future of the English national team? Greetings from Brazil. Oh, so you're Brazilian. So I won't be too harsh on what I say. It was just one of those things, wasn't it? Brazil, they're not as good as they used to be. They had Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Romario, Roberto Carlos in there. They were stacked. And it was the way it was. It's not the same now. I think the biggest problem in the World Cup as well was up front. I mean, Fred. I'm not being funny, but if you put him out in a Sunday League team, he probably wouldn't even look that good. He was absolutely useless, and I don't know why he was in the national team. They've got to have better forwards than Fred. He did nothing in the World Cup. He was a spectator, a waste of time. Neymar was the one that carried the team. He got injured, sucked for him. Thiago Silva was an idiot, got yellow carded for no reason. He missed out on the Germany game. So you had all these factors that came into play and they ended up getting stuffed by a much better German side. Now, is it in decline? No, I wouldn't say so. It's not in decline. It's just one of those things. The World Cup is the World Cup. Look at Spain. They had a rubbish tournament. Look at Italy. Useless as well. England. Disappointing. All these nations you would have expected to qualify and go through didn't. Costa Rica, an underdog, an unlikely hero that comes out of nowhere and reaches the quarterfinals. If you had a bet on that, you would have, what was it, 4,001? They would have got that far? Madness. So it's just the World Cup. It happens, and that's why everyone loves the World Cup, because things happen that you don't expect. So I wouldn't say Brazilian football's on decline. They'll be back. They'll be back. Just give it a little bit of time. And get rid of Fred. Out the door, find someone else. And the future about English national team. England have some potential. They're a very fast team. They've got a lot of pace in their side. Danny Welbeck, Chamberlain, Walcott when he's not injured. Rooney's not fast, but he can do the job. Sturridge is quick. Sterling. They're probably one of the fastest teams going forward out there when it comes to national sides, but they just don't seem to click. Something about them, they just don't get that. They don't have the technical ability, English players, for some reason sometimes. They're not all like, you remember Joe Cole, he's a very tricky kind of player. You don't see that from a lot of English players. It's very much just get the ball down, ping it around, more of a physical game. So I think England have potential. As I say, they're one of the quickest going forward around. They've got so much pace. They just have to try and be able to finish as well. And obviously the ability to finish matters hugely. Danny Welbeck, he's one of these players that I say got a little bit fortunate here. I was piss-arsing about with the ball there. But, you know, Danny Welbeck scored a hat-trick in the Champions League. Great for him, but he is one of those players that does need a couple of chances to score. So, you know, just... if the old turkey neck, you know, Roy Hodgson manages to get them in training, finishing and counter-attacking, then, yeah, I think England have some potential to do well in the next big tournament. Good question. Hope that answered them. Anyway, next up from Soccer Nick 17. Says, hi TTB, I was wondering if, one, you could do a Champions League series with Liverpool. Yeah, I could probably do one with Liverpool when PES comes out. I will be doing Champions League ones with PES because they're good fun. You know, they've got the licenses, we know, they're enjoyable to play. So I'll be doing a Champions League, no doubt. Number 2, in the comments, people have been asking if you could have a second commentator for your videos. What is your opinion on that? I commentate PES and FIFA games as well. Good stuff. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? It would be interesting to have 2 commentators. It would be more realistic. But who am I going to get? My brother? He doesn't really have that knack. I think commentating is not... it's not as easy as some guys think it is. You have to know, obviously, what you're doing. Got a little bit lucky there. Then bosh! Straight in for number 2. But it would be good, you know, back and forth, the banter that they have. But the thing is about my videos is I do highlight videos generally. And, you know, you can't... there's not going to be a whole lot of discussion. It's just going to be the chances happening. So, you know, maybe down the line, I don't think it's going to happen. I'd rather just do me on my own commentating because then you don't have to sort of wait for someone. But it would be a good idea in retrospect. And number 3, what will happen to Man United if they finish outside of the top 4? Again, keep up the commentary. Greetings from Seattle. Seattle actually went there in March. It was raining every day, but it's a nice place to go. Number 3 that you said. So, I think if United finish out of the top 4 this year, I don't think it's going to be massively bad for them. I mean, they're going to lose the Champions League. I mean, it's going to be bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it isn't going to be bad, but I don't think Louis van Gaal's going to be sacked because of the players he's brought in, and the quality that he has. You know, and the kind of manager he is. He's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. He's going to stay around. It's not going to be like David Moyes. They're not going to finish 7th, though, so I think we're going to get that out of the way. So, but I don't think if they finish outside the top 4, then Louis van Gaal's not going to be sacked. They'll keep him, but it would just be very disappointing. Okay, next up from Ilian DL says, where do you think Belgium will finish? There's the phone again. Why do they keep phoning? Doing my head in. Where do you think Belgium will finish in the European qualifications, and in what round do you think they will go? Love your vids. Keep it going, TTB. Thank you. I think they'll do well. They're a young side. As I've said, I love playing with on FIFA. So if they're good in FIFA, should be good in the real world. What round? I think they could get quite far in the European Championships. Obviously, there's not like the World Cup. You've got Brazil, Argentina and all them in there. There's still a lot of good European sides. But I think they're a team that can at least get, you know, to the quarters. Get through into the quarterfinals. And see how things go. Actually, though, I do think this year they have changed, haven't they? There's more European teams going through. So, but I still think that the quarterfinals is where they could get. All right, next up from Vladimir Beska says, "Hi TTB, choose who do you prefer and why." So he's given me a list of players. So we'll give it a bash. Messi or Ronaldo? I'm going to say Ronaldo, just because he's used to play for Man U. I would love to see him back. Messi's phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but Ronaldo's for me. Robben or Hazard? That's a tough one. If we're going on, obviously, age, I would say Hazard, but I'd probably take Robben because he's just so lethal. Modric or Rakitic? I'd say Modric. Tim Howard or Courtois? I'd take Courtois. Company or Ramos? Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because Company play for Man City, so do you want to take him? I mean, he's a solid defender. I think either of them would do well for Man United, personally, if they came to United. But I'd say it's a tough one. I don't know. I'm going to say Ramos. I think Ramos is solid. I'll take him. Falcao or Cavani? I'd take Falcao because he's at United. I still want to see what he can do properly. Cavani's a good player, but I'd say Falcao. Cats or dogs? Used to be a cat person, but ever since I've been going out with my girlfriend and she has a dog, she has a husky. Oh, she's adorable. Absolutely love dogs now, so it has to be dogs. Parrots or hamsters? I used to have a hamster. They didn't really do much, so I'll take a parrot. Because you can get them to say, "Hey, he's a pretty boy now." You know, that funny, stupid stuff. You can piss around with them. American muscle cars or European sports cars? I'd take a European sports car there any day. Anyway, there we have it, guys. That is all for today. Hope you guys have a good Sunday. Enjoy your football. Hit the like button if you did enjoy it. Submit more questions. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.